Okay, I want to tell you about this because it just happened uh, yesterday. And I've written it out so that I can be efficient in the delivery. The short version is I was out mowing yesterday and I found two feathers while mowing, July 5th, 2024. What fun. For a normal person, that's it. I took them home to Barbara. She liked it. Okay, for an experiencer, that's not it. And you wonder, am I making more out of this than it really is? It is normal to find feathers outside on a trail. Correct. Even two feathers in a single outing while walking or mowing. Correct. And just like seeing faces in the clouds, humans look for patterns even where none exist. That's correct. Just like kids or adults scaring themselves with campfire stories, imagination can run wild. Also correct. It is the only trail I have, so sooner or later things will happen in or near the same places. Also correct. But I have seen beings with my own eyes twice and seen vehicles in the sky doing things that should not be possible with known earthly technology at this location or within a few miles of here. Have you? From where you live? Maybe, maybe not. I have been given items that only a human hoaxer could create. The last time upon request when no one was there in the middle of my farm to hear the request. Hoaxers are extremely unlikely given that I have seen beings. Now, I make no claims about these two feathers. I'm going to explain how I found them and why this seems odd to me, maybe not to you. And so that's what it's like with this stuff, regardless of how they got here. Here we go. Several months ago, a subscriber to my channel mentioned that they felt like Sabe might like the color blue. I went through the comments. I couldn't find your comment. If I could have found it, I'd have mentioned your name, but I could not find it. Shortly after that comment was made, while mowing the trail, I noticed a piece of blue bottle glass at the mower crossing I had built for myself down in the woods, just a little gravel to get across a ditch. I picked up the bottle glass, and I left it on the bench at the midpoint in the trail and told the woodline it was there for them if they wanted it, nice and blue. They didn't. The bench is out 3/4 of a mile from the house at the top of a little rise. Nice spot. They never took it. For weeks, never took it. After a few weeks, I moved it to the top of Remover of Difficulties Hill, the first hill on the trail, so named for the prayer I am usually reciting while I climb it. I stick the glass in a fence post when the corn is 4 feet tall. I'll show you the photo. You can see the blue glass just sticking up above the horizon line in the photo. This location, and I'll show you the photo of the location. You can see the shadow of me taking the picture from the mower, is where the third raccoon carcass was left on the trail. It is where I was gifted the empty box turtle shell that I showed you in a previous episode, and where a roughly 100 square feet of corn was knocked down, and that area was hidden just a few rows into the field, just a few feet north of the spot where this picture is taken. I have also found a feather or two here in years previous. The tree in the picture has a small limb that is broken over but still living. It includes a small tree break. Some of the tree breaks around here are small. The first feather caused me to shut off the mower in order to pick it up. There's a photo of it in the trail. I almost mowed over the thing, and then I thought, for some reason, no, stop, pick it up. The tree with the broken limb is 100 feet up the hill. There's a picture of that. In the photo, it looks farther, like when you take a picture of the moon at night, the moon suddenly gets tiny. It's up the trail 100 feet maybe. As I mowed up the hill, the thought occurred to me to see if the glass was still in the fence post. It had been there the previous week when I mowed, and today, July 5th, yesterday, it was gone. Could it be gone because of wind, rain, crows, raccoons, or curious hikers? Sure it could be. But it had been there for weeks, and it was there the last time I came by just a few days ago, and today it's not there. Feather in compartment on the mower, there's a little plastic box. I put the feather in there, and that's this little guy. And I continue on mowing. I mow all the way to the spring. I am thinking about Jason and the hind leg of the fawn deer that wasn't on the trail when he walked in to go dove hunting in Tennessee a couple of years ago, but it was on the trail when he walked out. Story he told to Steve Istall on howtohunt.com. And I also was wondering, for no particular reason, what would I do if I found an illegal, like eagle feather or something on the trail? And I decided I'd just take a photo and leave it, which is lawfully what you're supposed to do. You don't have to take a photo, you're not supposed to touch it. On the way back from the spring, I was imagining what it would be like to see one of these creatures in the woods down there, because I know I've been very close to them in the woods down there. The path through the woods is bare dirt. On the way down, I mowed down the middle of the path. It's only a little wider than 5 feet anyway, and so I blew it completely clean of debris. On the way back, just past the spot where I had noticed that full-grown snapping turtle dropping onto the trail from somewhere, and that is odd in and of itself, I suddenly noticed a light-colored flash come out from under the mower, and I looked to see feather number 2, the larger of the two, right there by the grass chute. I shut the mower off, collected the feather, and took a photo. I'll put the photo up for you. These photos are taken like 5 minutes apart from each other. You can see in the photo that the trail behind the mower is just bare dirt. I watch where I'm going. I don't want to hit a stump, break a blade, or something like that. I didn't notice anything until the feather came out of the grass chute. At first, I thought it was the same type of feather, but I don't think it is. They're very similar in color, but they have some minor differences. I think from the size of them, they're probably both raptor feathers of some kind. Picked up the feather, thanked the woods for the feather, and I took them home to Barbara, feeling happy. I was not afraid or concerned or scared or anything by this. All I'm saying to you is, I found these 2 feathers yesterday, and that's how it happened. Question: why would the top of Remover of Difficulties Hill be significant, besides the reasons stated already? Observation and previous gifts have occurred there. Well, the spring likely runs under that hill, though I can't prove it, but there's a ridge that runs down through the farm to the spring. Seems logical. May have nothing to do with anything. And 2, I do say the Remover of Difficulties while I climb that hill, and I get done with it by the time I get to the top. And so I'm done with all of my prayers usually long before I get to the bench where they didn't want the glass. It's also much closer to the houses, and not much happens on the trail beyond that point until you get down into the woods at the crossing, and from there on down to the spring. If all this is coincidental, then that level of coincidence should shake the faith of Las Vegas odds makers. Even then, I would not argue against natural causes, at least in part, but for having seen the Sabe and being shown the inexplicable inside-out carcasses. Little events like this are what caused me to ask for a more definitive sign last year that resulted in the gift of the 3rd inside-out raccoon carcass. My conclusion from this? They just want me to know that they're around, because it's been very, very quiet for some months. And so I think that was the point. So that's all I know. 2 lovely feathers. And am I making more out of it than it should be? You decide. Time will tell. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Yeah. It is. Yay! Did it.